We have an absolutely massive and highly urgent breaking weather alert for you right now as a completely catastrophic flooding disaster is actively destroying major infrastructure across northern Michigan today. Emergency management officials in Grand Traverse County have officially declared a highly critical state of emergency as multiple relentless rounds of heavy rain completely inundate the entire region. The incredibly terrifying live video footage currently emerging directly from Traverse City shows a completely unprecedented level of absolute destruction as rapidly rising floodwaters violently wash away vital local roadways. This is absolutely not just a localized event because deeply terrified residents and highly exhausted local authorities are currently reporting completely massive, widespread flooding damage actively spreading across the entire northern half of the state today. To truly comprehend the absolute massive scale of this terrifying logistical nightmare, you must look closely at the incredibly dangerous atmospheric combination actively driving this severe, massive disaster. The entire region recently experienced completely massive heavy winter storms, and now dramatically warming spring temperatures are aggressively forcing all of that thick, heavy snow to rapidly melt at a completely alarming and highly dangerous rate. When you aggressively combine that massive volume of rapid snowmelt with consecutive aggressive rounds of heavy torrential rainstorm activity, the local creeks and massive drainage ditches simply cannot logically handle the incredible overwhelming volume of fast-moving water. Local road commission managers are actively describing the deeply stubborn leftover snow as having the absolute physical consistency of thick liquid concrete, making it incredibly difficult for emergency crews to actively clear the heavily blocked drainage pathways. The absolute most deeply devastating and highly visible physical impact of this massive natural disaster is completely centered on a highly critical local bridge that has been violently and completely washed entirely away by the raging floodwaters. This completely massive structural failure is actively creating an absolute logistical nightmare for the local community because officials confirmed that this specific highly vital roadway normally safely completely handles over 20,000 individual vehicles every single day. The incredibly shocking and deeply frustrating reality for these deeply exhausted local commuters is that heavy construction crews and specialized engineering teams are currently actively estimating that the massive necessary bridge repairs will easily take a completely agonizing 6 entire months to fully complete. This incredibly prolonged massive closure will actively force thousands of highly frustrated drivers to endlessly navigate deeply confusing and highly congested alternative detour routes for the entire completely foreseeable future. The completely terrifying immediate threat is absolutely far from over because emergency management teams are now actively aggressively monitoring several incredibly vulnerable local dams that are currently standing right at the absolute terrifying razor edge of completely failing under the massive overwhelming water pressure. If any of these highly stressed local dams violently breach, it would instantly unleash a completely catastrophic tidal wave of completely massive destruction directly onto the highly populated downstream communities. While the northern half of the state actively violently battles the rising deep floodwaters, the heavily populated southern regions, including major urban centers like Detroit, are completely violently dealing with an entirely different, incredibly aggressive, severe weather threat. A completely massive, severe thunderstorms, heavily packing, incredibly highly destructive, straight-line wind gusts have already violently ripped through the southern metropolitan areas, causing massive, widespread structural damage and actively completely plunging thousands of highly vulnerable residents into complete, total, terrifying darkness. With highly aggressive heavy rain officially completely forecasted to relentlessly continue completely straight through the end of the busy week, The absolutely terrifying truth is that these incredibly dangerous, massive floodwaters will likely violently continue to aggressively rise. State highway patrol officers and local emergency management officials are actively issuing desperate and highly urgent pleas to all highly vulnerable residents to completely strictly avoid all highly unnecessary travel and never ever attempt to forcefully drive through any flooded streets. You absolutely must fundamentally stay completely highly vigilant and completely strictly informed as this completely monumental extreme weather crisis actively continues to rapidly, violently develop minute by minute across the entire state of Michigan. Hit that subscribe button right now, absolutely smash the notification bell, and stay completely tightly locked to our exclusive channel as we continuously aggressively bring you the absolute latest critical emergency updates and deeply exclusive raw unedited survival footage directly from the completely devastated front lines.